I think above all else is Brexit and getting Brexit actually sorted. We need a party that has a clear direction of where we're going to go as a country. Otherwise, the country will still be in the instability that we're facing right now. So we need to get that sorted so we can go on to the bigger issues.
For this general election, the issue that's most important to me is how governments are going to address the divide between London and the rest of the country. Coming from the north of England to study, sort of noticing the disparity between the two, I'm very interested to see how governments seek to address that, in particular travelling infrastructure and issues like that to help sort of boost development in the rest of the country.
To me, the most important issue is taxes and spending. Taxes are at a 45-year high, while debt is at 88% of GDP, and it's looking to go up with the election. So, unfortunately, who I'm voting for is going to be quite difficult because both main parties are planning on increasing spending, and for a fiscal conservative, that's quite difficult to look at.
For me, this year, the most important issue is the environment. I feel like since the last election, the discourse has changed so much. We've had the student strikes, the Greta effect, Extinction Rebellion, and I feel like we're at a point now where the government need to take more of an urgent approach to our environment. This includes making credible commitments and promise of action, not just words. So we need to be investing in green energy, renewables, efficient transport and building, and this is something that is really important for the government of the day when they are elected.
Other important issues would definitely include immigration. I think we need much more immigration into the country. LSE is a key example of why immigration matters and why it completely helps not just our national community, but also our universities, our hospitals. I think the current debate on immigration is bigoted. I think it's full of racism, and I think what we need to do is step back, look at it from the eyes of the immigrants who want to come here and contribute, and absolutely allow them to thrive and prosper in our community.
I think we need to drastically enhance the NHS. We have so many sort of social care crises and so forth that we need to address them particularly. This is not just through increased funding, we also need to radically reform it within the system itself to make it better.
For me, I think constitutional reform is another issue that needs to be thought about during this election. It doesn't often feature very highly in parties' manifestos or in the discourse, but I think the past 2 years have shown, even more so than 2 years, have shown that the current two-party system, the Westminster model, isn't working at the moment, and we need to be thinking about reforming this to fit our current electorate and our current attitudes and voting preferences.
I think the big one in this election is Brexit, and if we're going to get a deal, if we're going to leave, and the rest of the future of this country. We see that's like the big central issue for this election because it has such a big impact for everybody, regardless of what they do or where they work.